Let's throw to this young lady here.
Aw.
Okay, hi guys. I just wanted to say thank you for all the work you do, for that show. I'm so grateful. And my question is, if time travel was a thing, real, to what part of the show would you go back to change it, or just to see it again, to relive the scene?
If we could go forward, all the scripts would have been written.
But if we go backwards, we'll know what all the episodes need to be for the next year. So that's pretty good.
You know the show's recorded, so you could watch it now. You don't need to waste your time travel trip to watch old episodes of The Big Bang Theory. Current technology could let you do that, and you could kill Hitler or something. But I don't know.
Eric's so funny.
I have an actual answer. It was the first time, enough of that foolishness, the first time that Penny said I love you to Leonard, one of my all-time favorite moments.
That was so cute. Aw. The one time he didn't make me cry. You did make me cry. I did cry, actually.
Yeah, you
A lot of crying.
I think we
Happy
both
tears.
did that time.
Yeah.
Kaylee, you got to pull it together.
I know. I'm falling apart.
Go ahead, Lee. Yeah.
My turn?
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm such a huge fan, and this is
Aw.
actually my first San Diego Comic-Con. Woo!
Yeah!
I came all the way from New Jersey. Yeah. Woo!
wow.
Yeah, New Jersey. I'm sorry.
Sorry you missed
Oh!
Woo! Aw, come
Kidding.
on. We have the best pizza. I'm just kidding.
I'm from Staten Island, so
Fight.
Okay, my question is, I know you guys have been playing the same characters for about 10 years, and I just wanted to know which character would you like to switch to besides that's what, yeah. In the future.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
I'd like to switch with Cinnamon.
Oh.
The
I'd
dog.
like to switch with Cinnamon.
Cinnamon
Fed
is
all day on the
spoiled.
couch, yep.
eats
Who would I s-
whatever
You always
she
get the cutest outfits. Then you guys. I mean, let's be honest. That'd be fun. I'm just saying. It'd be nice to not wear 4 layers under the. In the
And I
summer.
wish I had 4 layers. I'm always freezing.
Yeah, but I mean, it'd be nice to wear some shorts and a tank top for once on the show, you know?
The wardrobe room has this incredibly depressing shelf that is just 25 sweater vests.
Yeah.
All
Even
stacked up in a row
100,
with
yeah.
Raj on top of it. Breaks my heart, no matter what the weather is.
It's just brown. Yeah.
Who else would want to trade with another actor?
I wouldn't mind taking a shot at Wallowitz. I mean, tired of being a third wheel. I want to be the man of the house.
It's hard to say because that kind of suggests that you think you could do a better job than them, which was certainly. But I always thought Kevin would make a great Leonard.
Kevin would make a good Leonard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait
One
a minute.
One person thinks so.
I don't know if that should get applause.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Mom.
I'm meeting you at the car at 5.
Johnny, do you remember when we were in the very first conversations about this, that Chuck approached you about Sheldon, and you said no, that you preferred Leonard. There was
Right.
I
Yeah.
remember that too.
But I hadn't met Kevin at the time. I may have pitched Kevin for that. Yes, that is true. I wanted to be part of the Leonard Penny love story even before Kaylee was cast.
Oh.
And then only
Thought that was
tenfold after you
going
were.
differently.
This is a question for the writers. Do any of the stories in the show come from your real lives?
I think so.
Don't be embarrassed. Just
I think
be
a lot of
honest.
a lot of
tell
the
us.
writers' room is us telling stories from our lives and crying over it and then trying to make it funny. But
I did put my baby to sleep by sleeping with him in the crib for 2 years.
Aw.
Don't do that. It's a bad idea.
You know that. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say in the first. I mean, in a writer's room, especially a comedy writer's room, you just basically tell painful stories from your life, and then people laugh at them, and then then they laugh at you and make a script. But in the very first season, there's Penny is drunk and has had a fight with her boyfriend and goes in and says to Leonard that she'll spend the night with him, and Leonard doesn't want it to happen under those circumstances. And that was a story that I told from my life, and I was mocked by Chuck so mercilessly in the room. And he said, well, the only way we're going to put that in the show is if Penny mocks him for this, because no man would ever do that under any circumstance.
But even specific jokes, I remember we were trying to think of things when Raj was getting cut off and when they were discovering what he'd spent his money on. So we were trying to think of foolish things Raj could have spent his money on. And I think I'd pitched that he had adopted a penguin at the zoo. And people were like, well, it has to be something people would actually do. Like, that's too silly. And I'm like, no, that's a thing. My son adopted a penguin. And he loved penguins, and he had adopted a penguin.
That's hilarious.
And you know that Stephen Hawking, remote control Stephen Hawking, I thought that would be a fun thing for us to put on the show. So I told Chuck, and he's like, that's offensive. You can't do that. I was like, I think he's going to be okay with it. So it was when, in that episode, everyone is telling Wallowitz, that's a bad idea, you can't do that. And so it was really my argument with Chuck whether or not it could be on the show was what we ended up having happen about it in the episode.
As I recall, we knew it was offensive when Kripke thought it was a good idea.
That's correct.
Which is a fine litmus test in general, I think. Yeah.
Sometimes you'll be hanging out with the writers at a bar having a drink, and Simon and I will be having a drink after the show with some of the writers. You'll all be hanging out. And in the next episode, I'm like,
We talked about
Simon and I
last
were
night.
doing this, having the same conversation in the bar the night we were the writers.
The dating, when we were doing the dating, the online dating, I was doing the online dating.
Yeah, I mean, Simon Wallowitz making fun of Raj's accent came from us hanging out, right?
And you doing your American accent, and then Simon doing the American accent. That was all from the bar.
I think we have time for one more audience question, and it'll go to this lady here.
Hi, everyone. I'm Gabriella, and I'm from the Dominican Republic. First ever San Diego Comic-Con, and my friends and family back home all love your show. We've been following it for a good 8-9 years at this point. And with all of the amazing episodes that we've seen, my question for all of you is, what is the most memorable scene or episode that you have recorded? And if you've had a chance to redo it, how would you do it?
Oh, that's the third part is huh. How would you, I mean, to be honest, every time I watch any scene that I'm in, I'm like, like, I'm so fat. I don't know what's wrong with me. Why did I make that choice? I'm such a actor. Like, so, that's okay. It's okay. We're artists. It happens. That's the way we are. So yeah, I don't know. I'd probably reshoot a lot of the things that I've done, right?
For me, it's like looking back into this archive of hairstyles. I'm just like, oh my God, like what? But I mean, so many. It's 10 years of hair. Hair changes, but there was a lot of hair, a lot of hairstyles. Still a lot of hairstyles.
If I had to go back, I probably wouldn't touch Kunal's feet as much as I did.
I'd love if they kept my hair curly on the show so I didn't have to flat iron it for 20 minutes before
Flat
every
irons it,
taping.
yeah.
Flat iron, it all becomes straight.
Simon too.
Simon too.
Simon's got a wonderful mane of hair that they just kind of dome with about
Like a
20
helmet.
pounds of product. If he was here, I'd run my fingers through it. It's incredible.
Yeah.
We have a very special treat for this the end of our panel. Steve, why don't you set us up for this rather participatory moment we're going to have?
Sure. So sometimes we write and shoot things that we love, but they don't make it on TV. So one thing from this season that you never got to hear was Amy singing an alternate version of Soft Kitty to Sheldon. So I thought we could end things here maybe with a sing-along if you guys would help us out. We're going to put the words on the screen for the never-before-seen version of Soft Kitty about other animals. So it starts with Soft Kitty, and then there's two more animals after that, if you'll help us out. Maybe would the cast start us off?
Yeah, of course. Let's do it in E minor. Okay.
Soft kitty, warm kitty, little ball of fur.
Sing along.
Happy kitty,
sleepy kitty, purr, purr, purr.
Now get ready.
All right, soft bunny.
Soft bunny, warm bunny, floppy ears on top.
happy bunny, sleepy bunny, hop,
Hop, hop.
And really put your hearts into hard turtle. Here we go.
Yeah, put your hearts into this. Let's start it again. 1 second. Let's put our hearts into this one. Whoa.
Sorry, dude.
One more.
One more time. Let's do the turtle one more time, but everyone sing at the top of your lungs.
Hard turtle.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3, go.
Hard turtle, wet turtle, where did your head go? Happy turtle, sleepy turtle, slow, slow, slow.
We love you guys.
Love you guys.
Thank you all so much.
Hey,
We love you. We love you. We love you.
I just want to
Thank
say
you.
really quick, a real quick story about the first Comic-Con we came to. We were on a train from Los Angeles, and I was sitting next to Chuck Lorre, and I said, how big is the auditorium that we're in? And it was this room. And I said, that's a lot of seats to fill. He said, yeah, it kind of is, and we're a new show. And I said, you realize we're not a sci-fi show either, right? And we looked at the schedule, and I think at the same time, Battlestar Galactica, I think, was happening.
Yeah.
And I was like, we might want to look into a smaller room, man. And he was like, gave him this complex. So he got on the phone and trying to get a 200-seat room or something at the last minute, and everything was booked. And when we got here, we couldn't believe that the seats were filled, and I think they had to turn down a few hundred people after. Your support and love has been staggering
day
and
one.
shocking. And
We love you. Couldn't do it without you.
from the bottom of our hearts, thank you so very
Thank
much.
you so much.
Thank you.
Click to the left to check out the Big Bang Theory panel, part 1, or for part 2, click to the right.